So we're in the Business Insider offices. We've brought in some of our old Pokémon cards and we're going to get an expert in to tell us how much they're worth.
If you're like me and you're a child of the 90s, there's probably 3 things that you loved. It was either Power Rangers, Dragon Ball Z, or Pokémon.
So when I was back at school, I was probably about 8 or 9 years old when Pokémon was kind of in its heyday. It was a huge phenomenon. Obviously, it was all the playtimes in the playground were spent trading and comparing your cards.
It's not just the value, it's kind of like the nostalgic, sentimental value of it, to be honest. It's like you've had these for so long. It's been like almost, 20 plus years since I've had these cards, so seeing them go will be difficult, but I think everything has its price.
My name's Roy Raftery and I'm the manager at Sneak Attack Games. The owner and I have about 30 years worth of experience in buying, selling, trading and playing all these major card games. Pokémon has never really died down. The trading card game gives away millions in prize money every year, and most people don't know that, and that's why the game's still going. You buy these cards to compete in big events that hopefully win you 10, 20k. And for the old cards, it's the nostalgia, it's the fact that I want to buy the old cards so I can play how the game was when it was first made, when it was first created, like that first inception of the game. And that's what continues to make cards valuable. Yeah, so I'll take a look at the cards you brought me and we'll value them, we'll see what they're worth, see what we got. Ooh. All right, so the first one is the Charizard. This is what most people bring in. In mint condition, a Charizard from the first set is probably worth about 45 to 55 quid. In this condition, which is like, you can see it's all bent, it's got edge wear, it's got chips and scratches on the card, it's probably worth under £10. This is what we typically get, and I wince when they come in because people think it's like £500–600, but really it's not. Everyone, if you have a Machamp, everyone's got a first edition Machamp. This was given away in the structure deck when the cards first came out, and it's not unique, unfortunately. So a lot of people are like, oh, I've got a first edition Machamp. And you're like, sorry, it's worth like 2 or 3 quid, maybe 4 if it's in good condition. If you look at this Clefairy, like the front is battered, it's all scratched. The back looks like it's been in a washing machine. It's peeling off here. It's because when we were kids and we had these in school, in primary school, in secondary school, we just had them in piles like this, in elastic bands, like this basically, in our back pockets. Just like that, and they were in our back pockets. That's why they're like this 15 years later. They're moving, they're curved, they're warped. They're kind of falling apart, basically. Okay, Harry, the verdict is, unfortunately, I probably wouldn't take these in because of the condition. If I did buy them, it'd be between £7 and £10. Sorry, mate. Right, so we have David's collection here, and instantly I get good vibes from it because it's in a folder. The folder looks a bit worn, so he's probably had this a long time, but it probably means he's kept his cards in good condition from day one. So in the gold and silver generation, which was the second generation, he's got a full set of the starting Pokemon in Japanese. This is typically something that vendors won't buy, if I'm honest with you. We only buy English cards. Now and again we'll buy German or French cards at a discounted rate, but something like this, it's just cool. It's just like nostalgic, it's just cool really. So we've got David's Charizard, and it's in much better condition than Harry's, much better. It's not curved, it's quite straight. On the back, the edges are quite clear, not much scuff marks on them. This is probably 20 to 25. After the first couple of sets, you had the gym leader sets. And it's quite cool. They were very hard to get in England, to be honest with you. They very short printed. Didn't really come over here as often as other places. So you got Misty's Tentacruel and Surge's Fero. These are cool. These are quite collectible. About a couple of quid each, but it's all this stuff that all mounts up and adds to the value of your overall collection. So here's a good tip. No matter what Charizard card you have, even if it's one from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the latest set, it's going to be worth money, without a doubt. It's just because it's Charizard, and people think like, this is the best monster, this is like the boss monster, any edition of Charizard is worth something. So everyone asks about Mew. Is it worth something? I saw on the internet that it was worth £1 million. Someone brought one in to the shop. They thought it was worth 4K. And I said, I'm really sorry, it's not worth 4K. They thought I was lying. I wasn't. But it was a really bad card in terms of like, it did like 10 attack. No kid wanted a Pokemon that did 10 attack. He wanted something that did like 100 or 80 at least. So all in all, David's collection is much better. Retail is about 75. We'd buy it for about 35, 40. Much better than Harry's. Well done, David.
So we've just had our cards valued. It's not good news for me. They said that they might not even take my cards, which I thought was a bit offensive, but what can you do?
Pretty disappointed. He said it was worth about £70, no more than that. And I was there thinking it was going to be like in the thousands, you know.
Technically David beat me, but I think we both lost really.